I swear I was going to be on time. And then I lost internet. And I thought it was like gone for good. I was getting ready to like post and be like, well, sorry, but not my fault. And then internet came back. So I had to set everything back up again. And I lost it. Okay, that is the old tripod. Did my kids? Oh, no, they did not. I am just losing my head. Oof. Oof. That's what old people say when they sit down. Okay. Okay. All right. Woohoo. And that is what old people say when they fix something or get it to work the first time. Now you know. All right, let me share the link. You know I'm only like rambling nonsense here because no one's here yet, right? I'm trying to share the link. Good morning, Jessica. Discord is giving me issues. There we go. You missed yesterday because Matt came over with a Theo puppy to play with Yuki puppy. Aw, I wasn't online yesterday. First off, yesterday was my daughter's birthday. She's 10 now, which is illegal. Anyway, just I'm mad at her for growing so fast. Because she's 10 now. But on top of that, the night before, she had some stomach pains and she was like freaking out in the bathroom after her shower, freaking out about stomach pains. And I couldn't get any real clear answers out of her about where in the stomach, what kind of pain. She just kept screaming that someone was stabbing her. So my brain went to appendicitis. So we were in urgent care for like 4 hours to hear gas. So we started off her birthday extremely tired. Don't blink, right? I know. And guess whose father did not call her to wish her a happy birthday? But are we surprised? And this is the first year that I did not text him to remind him because I'm tired of that. I'm almost at 15,000 words in my book finally. Yay, Jessica, that's awesome. Not even a call, Missy. Now, that's not to say that he hasn't already wished her a happy birthday because she was at his girlfriend's house with him last weekend. And I'm sure he said something, you know. And if not, I know that he said happy birthday month to her when he dropped her off. So I know he has said it, but he didn't say it on her birthday. He didn't call her. Yeah, I know, Alex. You know what I found out? I found out that in Illinois, you don't have to be legally divorced. Like, it doesn't have to be settled in order to get the courts to order and thereby take child support. So Guess who's starting those proceedings soon? Glad she's got you. Thank you, Missy. It's not like I get, especially when you're younger, you want to hear it on your birthday. You don't only want you know, like it's fine around the edges. They said it a week ago or whatever, but when you're little, you still kind of want them to remember on the day of. When can you officially end this? When I have the money. That was my plans before everything got derailed at the beginning of the year. That was my plan. It was in my plans. It cost, okay, so I had already tried to file once. It was $425. Well, no. It was $385 to draw up the papers because I was going pro se. Draw up the papers and get them all served and everything. And then it was $425 to file those papers with the county clerk. And then I never got any notifications about any court dates or anything, so I had no idea what was going on. I went in to look, and we had missed them. Like, neither of us had shown up. So it got dismissed. So I have to start over again, which is fine. But then, like, everything got derailed. He can't marry her if he's still married to you. Yeah, I know. I don't care if he does marry her. Like, I'm not trying to stand in his way marrying her, whatever. I don't like that they are purposely trying to, like, make memories when he knows full well that they're the same memories that I am trying to make. Like, go make other memories. Anyway, I digress. That is not book writing related. This is canon fodder for character backstory. There you go. I'm going to be trying to write more in my book today. Yesterday, something happened and words exploded onto the page. That's awesome, Jessica. I am so proud of you. Go. I promised my accountability people I would work on my manuscript this week. And so you're gonna, because we're almost done with the week. That leaves today and tomorrow. Like, you better get to it, Seisha. Are you feeling better? Is everyone feeling better? How's the luxury of being a woman? You're funny. Go on. Okay. Well, I was in a really good mood, but you know what? My new therapist told me she thinks me writing my dark romance is a healthy tool for my therapy. I was worried she would tell me it wasn't healthy. Well, I'm sure. Well, why were you worried that she would tell you it wasn't healthy? You're processing. Processing is always healthy as long as you're processing and not hurting someone. Like, process, you know. My chest feels sick. Stupid bipolar weather. I'm sorry. I can sort of write, sort of type. Just need not for too long. Yeah. Well, you know what? I think 5 minutes is perfect. Still counts as progress. Not quite enough to physically hurt you. Hello. I looked up real quick and I saw 10:03 and I was like, it's 10 o'clock already? But no, that's how long I've been. I'm tired. It gets real dark and I was worried she would think I wasn't making healthy mental health choices. Okay, so Taylor, you're processing things and sometimes that means working through a lot of dark stuff. The only time it would get unhealthy is if you weren't processing as you worked, which is impossible to do. Writing itself is a form of processing. So, like, that's exactly what you're doing. It would be different. It would be different if this wasn't you processing past traumas and this was you, say, manifesting dreams, for example. But even then, it's not unhealthy. It's just then it's more red flags. Like, is this something she's going to do? You know what I mean? Rather than processing past traumas. So yeah, I wouldn't have, I would have been shocked if you were like, yeah, she said it was unhealthy for me to look at this stuff. I would have been like, maybe you need a new therapist then. But no, it's healthy. It's helping you process things. Look, your hair, I love it. Thank you. Even getting through the dark stuff, Taylor. And notice I'm not saying curing things. I'm just saying processing. Because there's probably more to process and there's probably more steps that you need before you can really get over other things. But writing is a really good step. It's very therapeutic. Yep. That's why so many therapists assign it as a type of homework or a tool or something. We assign journaling for that. Sniper Jessica. How are you doing today? Have a great day, fantastic day, and even a beautiful day. Thank you very much, Tiffany. I hope you have the best day. Now you have made me remember my pills. Yay! That's what I'm here to do. Remind you to take care of yourselves while you write your book. That means eat, sleep, pills. I think I was scared she was going to tell me to stop and that I was not far enough along for such dark themes. Ah. Thank you. You're welcome. Taylor, you know why you thought that. You know why you thought that. Because it's part of the trauma from before. And that's okay too. Keep going. You're a beautiful, beautiful young lady. Thank you. What is my favorite novel? So my dumb answer for that is whatever I'm reading at the time. Because otherwise what ends up happening is I'll think of one and then while I'm giving that answer, like Lonesome Dove, I love Lonesome Dove, right? But then as I'm giving that answer, I'm like, oh, but I also really liked The Once and Future King. But then as I'm giving that answer, I'm like, oh, but you know what? I also, so it's just whatever one I'm reading at the time. Why does it feel like Monday today? I don't know, Missy. Oh, look, Naomi, call me out again. Must be a day ending in Y. It is another week of Mondays. I think March is just Mondays. I'm pretty sure. Hello, Macy. I love your taste in novels. Thank you. Dale, good morning, Dale. Almost blocked myself. That would have, don't do that. They hung up. Okay. I'm just going to stop trying to get Jessica. I know, Jessica's like, pew, 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 pew. But that is why I don't know how many moderators I actually have. I never counted. TikTok would like make me stop. So if I went to like assign someone as a moderator, TikTok would be like, you already have X number of moderators. And okay, so that's how I always knew how many I was allowed to have there. Here, I don't know how many I'm allowed. So someone's been around for a long time. Someone comes in a lot, understands, how we run things. I'm like, ooh, make you mod. And YouTube just keeps letting me do it. And I'd rather have 32 mods all hovering over each other, but killing a troll 52 times than not enough, What's the topic? Writing and publishing. Writing and publishing. How many books have I published on my own? As of right now, on my own, in my own name, 2. If you don't count like my planners and stuff, which probably don't count. 2. I got Everything I Need to Know About Parenting I learned from watching Star Trek, which was on a bestsellers list for 3 years in Amazon and in Germany and in Japan. Go figure. And it hit UK. It hit UK pretty good too. I had a bunch of people email me about how much they loved it in the UK. So yay. I also had one of the universities in the UK bought it for their, like, as a reference, as a funny reference for one of their parenting classes, like not as a textbook, but so that they could have it. Oh, no, 3, because I forgot about the military paradigm. It was the emotional cycle of military deployment and the effects it has on the family. That was my master's thesis. And it did get published, and it was really big in Germany and the military bases. Not so much here, though. No one here really liked it. It was fine. I don't care. And then my last one is Write Out Loud, which is a book on how to write a book. I know that's like ridiculous and meta. I get it. But I really wanted to like put out a book that focused in on the self-care and the mental tenacity that it takes and how to build it up to write a book. Thankfully, Jessica is not as clumsy as I am. Ah. Hi, Emma. I've yet to get there first. Feels like I'm on a slow motion compared to the rest of you. It's fine. Sometimes I miss things. Yep. Hi, pretty aunt. Hello. Hi, Miss Emma. Hello, Sam. I've about done the same thing, Seisha. Actually, mouth not sync in video. Really? I don't know. Art. Hello, Art. How was your day today? How did you get into writing and publishing after university? No. So that's a good question. I just don't remember not writing. My problem was never about getting into writing. It was always more about being told that writing wasn't a real job. And so I just thought of it as kind of a hobby for a very long time. It was just something I enjoyed doing, and I thought of it as a hobby. 20 some odd years ago, I started freelancing as a website developer and editor, where like people would ask me back in the days of AOL and GeoCities, people would ask me if I would build their site and or if I could take a look at their website or something along those lines. And so I basically like taught myself how to like start building all these things and whatnot. And for a while, some of my clients, like I would build their site and then they wouldn't have any content. It would still have the filler, like lorem ipsum content that I put up there. So a year later, I would check in on them and be like, how come nothing's up there? And they were like, I don't know what to put up there. Can you write something? And I was like, yeah, I like writing. So I started writing, and it wasn't like, and it took a long time to go from that, where writing is a hobby that I can help people with, to writing is a job. And going about it that way. Prior to that, though, my writing was like just, on the side, writing books. I don't know how many books sitting there, either unfinished or finished but not published or something. She screamed hi back. Yay! Good morning, Sabrina. I got commissioned to print a small poem book. The author is a kid. I'm proud of him. Art, that's amazing. Congratulations. You're going to do amazing. They're going to be so happy because of you. Book printing and binding, so relaxing. Really? I wish I knew how to do that. I don't know how to do that. But now I know who to contact if I need it done. How does one transition from freelance to making it actually your main thing? Okay, so I follow this. You know what? Email me, Naomi at helpmenaomi.com. I have a freelancer course that I can share with you. It does not make you full-time, but it runs through a lot of the basics of like setting yourself up as a freelancer. Things like getting your first client, a couple of mindset things, like what it means to be a freelancer and why freelancers get stuck in this, like they don't like asking for money kind of thing. Email me. Now, I will email you back and let you know that it's on its way. However, I am having tech issues, and I tried to help Farah. I tried to send it to Farah, and she couldn't get in. So I'm having some tech issues. So it might take me a little bit to get you into it, but it's a free course. Anyway, and then in that course, I talk about what I call rush to stream, where especially when you're starting, you're rushing to get clients. There's like you're doing cold outreach, you're doing proposals and bids, and that's you reaching out to get clients, and that's to bring in money while you build everything on the back end that will bring a stream of clients to you through your blog and stuff. So it's when you hit the stream that you can start really cutting down on some of your other things. But you have to start with the rush, because prior to the stream, you have nothing built yet. The stream requires building a really big engine that will bring clients to you and have like discovery calls and things going on. And so you've always got leads coming in that you can then follow up with to turn into clients. But until you get that all built, you've got to do the outreach yourself. You just learned how to bind hardcover books? That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you. I've trained at 10, so I got to go. Have a great day. All right. Taylor, have a good day. Exactly, man, that loop. I've some experience doing about 200 plus articles and stuff, but I really want to move to have that leads incoming. Awesome. I'll get in touch with you. You're very welcome. Yeah. And there's a really good chance too that if you've already got 200 plus articles under your belt and you still don't have a stream coming in, even if it's a trickle at this point, you're probably undercharged for those articles and you probably need to raise your rates. I think like 90% of the freelancers out there are charging too little. They're not charging enough, mostly because they're scared that if they charge more, people will say no. But if they say no, then they say no. But my bet is if you've got 200 plus articles under your belt, you probably did not charge enough for them if it did not produce at least enough time for you to be able to start building your stream. That's what I was going to ask. Are you on Instagram? You have Facebook? I'll find you on Facebook. Is it this name, Art of Zetsu? Is that it? I already texted your page. It's my old page. I don't use old page. All right, I'll find it. What's your email again? Naomi, Naomi, at helpmenaomi.com. As in, help me, Naomi, you are my only hope. All of us rushing to Facebook, right? Anyone else having issues with Canva this morning? I haven't logged into Canva yet today, so I can't say. What kind of issues are you having? The that client launch that went. I've been on that all morning. I'm not even logged in. That's weird. Naomi at helpmenaomi.com. Yep. So we did tests yesterday, and apparently I'm either orange or purple lightsaber. I had no idea what lightsaber I get. I claim the blue one. I haven't been on Canva in a long time. I'm on Canva almost every day for something. Canva was okay today. I did 2 covers at 1:30, and now it says that something has occurred and I can't edit. Let's see. Sometimes that'll happen when, like, my internet goes down for a little bit. And, like, for whatever reason, it won't be able to connect to their server. And so it can't make changes. I mean, it can't save the changes. And so sometimes when it can't save the changes, it won't let me do any more edits until the connection's reestablished. Could that be it? I have officially finished my mouth surgery yesterday, still recovering from it, but I want to write. Was on a roll with edits. Sabrina, just don't go too hard. How is your surgery? Did it go well? And then are you on pain meds? And then don't do dictation, but I am watching you. That sounds very... Oh, so you have internet. So I don't know. That still doesn't mean that you have connection to their server, though. Maybe their server went down. Well, but I just logged in. I don't know. Maybe the server in Canada went down. Is it all connected? I don't know. Kathy, hello. Refresh. Was it saved last night when you were working on it? Yeah, it sounded ominous at first. I am stalking you to find the At-Man. All right, so if it's saved, yeah, refresh. It should work. No meds needed, but my mouth is still adjusting. I had a stew inserted, and the final part was checkup and final securing it with cover. I don't do well at the dentist. I don't either. It's rough. Yeah, no, I get it. I was so glad this new dentist of mine, she started putting these like really thick sunglasses on me. She's like, give me your eyes. Here you go. And she like basically like covers my face so that I can't see, because I get freaked out about the mist that comes up when she's cleaning. You know, the whatever they call it thingy. I don't know, the one that squirts the water and then the mist comes up. It freaks me out. Anyway, whatever. It freaks me out. You just texted my page again? Oh, my page. I'm not signed in as my page. Who does that? Hang on. That's not you. I need more people to follow my page. No, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Which page do you mean? Oh, no, wait, do you mean... I gotta stop pretending I know and start, like, asking better questions. Not YouTube. Little Shop of Horrors. Oh my God. Suddenly Seymour standing beside me. Come on. Missy, you're in for such a treat if you go watch Little Shop of Horrors. It is so good. Skip the dentist scene. You'll know it's coming because it's Steve Martin on a motorcycle. As soon as you see that, just cover your eyes until his song is over, and then you're good. Posted a GIF in sprints. Stephen Moffat turning to Doctor Who. Yeah. His song is hilarious. Hello. We are talking about writing and publishing. Wanted to ask, what's your favorite fantasy genre? I don't know, because I really like high fantasy. But I also like futuristic fantasy. I love dragons. I don't know if I have a favorite. I don't think I have a favorite. Same. Yours is dark fantasy. Reposting so you can see what they said. How do I... Jessica, can you DM that to me, please? On Facebook, so that I can copy and paste it? Because I can't copy and paste from the chat here. Epic fantasy. Not much of a romance fan. Yeah, I don't mind romantic elements. I kind of get sick of them after a while, to be honest. Like, everything's always romantic. And then and then it's not ever enough to just have romantic, but then they got to try to throw in this like triangle into it or some other dilemma. It's like, I don't need that. You just like fantasy and fiction, period. If it's made up and it's magical, it's mine. Dark fantasy, if you know what I mean. I need all the shapes. What's the cup today? This is the one, ISBN, thinking of you. It's one of my newer ones, but I think you've seen it before. I have a question. What's up? You earned a sub. Ah, thank you so much. It's time for bed by you. Well, I hope you had a great day and good night. Damien just texted into Discord and said, "Can someone call me an idiot?" So this is me. Like, obviously, I'm never gonna call him an idiot. I'll give him a side eye, but now, like, y'all know that he's in Discord. Tell him I said no. Tell him I told him on YouTube, no. I'll be back in your next stream. Yay! Thank you, Missy. Thank you, Sarah. Flu is so annoying. Coughing for a month. Oh, I know. I hate it when I get the flu. And like the cough lasts forever. And like it'll last for like 6 months after the flu is gone because you've gone through and like ripped your throat apart. And by the time you get rid of the cough, you got the flu again or something else, the common cold or whatever, you know? It's horrible. Tule memes. I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. Do I like, are you asking if I like memes? Yes, some of them. You gotta go watch that movie. It's French for all the same. Oh, sorry. Not memes related at all. Tell me you don't speak French without telling me you don't speak French. Thought French is a major language in the US. Ish. I'm gonna say that's an ish. Not quite. So, and part of it does depend on where in the US someone grew up and at what time. So I'm Gen X because I'm pushing 50. So I'm Gen X. I went to school in, well, I went to grade school in Colorado, which is kind of in the Midwest of the United States. And then I went to middle school and high school. And I started my college career in Connecticut, New England. So in middle school and high school in Connecticut, The only options we had available were for foreign languages were either French or Spanish. My school none of my schools offered anything other than French or Spanish. And at the time, everyone was really pushing me to take Spanish because there were more Spanish speakers in the United States than there were French speakers. So I took Spanish. Now, depending on where you go, though, there's certain, like some other schools will even have the option for like German. Some have the option for like Latin, obviously French, Spanish, and a few others. But back when I was in school, it like and you couldn't even take both. Taking both was not an option. Like you had to choose one or the other. We're very weird in the US when it comes to language. I hear people are refusing to call me an idiot. Yes, I saw the little message come up and I was like, he wants people to call him an idiot. Tell him I saw it. Tell him I said no. In Mongolia, everyone speaks Japanese, Korean, or German. I do need to flesh my character out more. I struggle with it. Spanish is probably the second most spoken now, but I'm curious. Off to Google. Yeah, there was no way, Stacia, for me to confirm it at the time. I was just like, why would people tell me wrong information? Now I know it's because everyone believes in the wrong information. But at the time, I was just like, if that's what it is, that's what it is. I made super duper fantasy story with a lot of lore. But then I added romance, but it turned so bad because it was intended to be an adventure fantasy. After I added romance, it got ruined. I'm sorry about that. Can you take it back out? English, Spanish, Chinese, Tagalog, and Vietnamese. We got that. French doesn't even hit the top 5. But they learn it a lot in the South. Especially in Louisiana. Louisiana, I bet if you cut down the data points to just show Louisiana, it'd be I just hit my glasses. It'd be like the whole graph would change big time because the Acadians are there, Creole. A lot of them came down from Canada and like went from Canada all the way down to Louisiana, New Orleans area. So like the whole graph would be different. Oh my God. Oh my God. Damien, I am so sorry. You are correct. And I knew that. I'm gonna be anxious about this forever. I am so sorry. Can I speak? No. Cajuns used to be French Canadian. English kicked them out. Friendly reminder. I know, but I try so hard to remember, and I don't like it when I misgender people, especially when I know ahead of time. I have no excuse because I do know. I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking. Now I made a simple story and added a little more details. Major language in Africa and in Wakanda. I don't know the language. I'm sorry. Wakanda forever. That's exactly what was going through my head. I was like, that I shouldn't say that. Widely spoken in Texas. Not when I was in Texas. Of course, I was in El Paso. Inner Marvel nerdiness is coming out. Wisdom, hello. How are you? I'm doing great. How are you? I love the fact that misgendering doesn't exist in my language. There is no he, she, only ter. Oh, that's nice. Amongst the Black community in Texas, yes. Oh, that's cool. Have I watched? No, I have not. Finally found a plot that will stick after 50 million tries. Yay! It's gonna get me to write a fanfic before it's over with. I woke up to watch you live and passed out and just now woke up. Hi, Pepper. I've done that before. Like you wake up for the morning and then you sit down and just knock right back out. Your pronouns are Z air. Want to hear a joke? I don't know. That sounds like a setup. Going through my series, how many plot twists are too many? You'll know. Maybe, or no, maybe you won't. The only time I really don't like plot twists are when they're when they are bad plot twists that like they didn't need to be there, you know, like they didn't add anything to the story, and or everybody's in on it. Where like this is where I started falling out of love with. If you saw that show The Following with Kevin Bacon, like it gets to the point where it's like, really, they're in on like literally everyone, you know, he's working with people, and then 6 episodes in, that person that he was working with was in on it, you know, and then his boss was in on it. Well, no, his boss wasn't in on it, but like his boss got killed. And then like, you know, he's got a girlfriend and the girlfriend's in on it, you know. I even got mad about it when in Supernatural when they decided that Jessica was in on it. Like, really? I don't like those stories where it's like literally everyone is in on it. I don't like those. And like, because it gets to the point where you're like, someone new comes in and you're like, they're in on it. And then you're just waiting for the reveal and you're like, I don't like those. I'm so mad. I enjoy your lives. I'm glad you enjoy my lives. Hello. Have you read the book Things Fall Apart by... No, I have not. I got so confused for a second. You don't want so many twists that the readers do a 360 on everything. Yeah. As long as the twists are easy to follow, and they should feel like... The readers should feel like they could have gotten it. Even, like, without being predictable. Like, if you look at... The Sixth Sense. If you look at The Sixth Sense, when you, like, the first time you watched it, or if you go back now and watch it again, even knowing everything, after the reveal, when you go back, you realize that all of these little foreshadowing events were there. The clues were there for you to put it together. And so the reader feels like, I knew it, you know, without being like, ugh, predictable. Like, it's a fine line. Who's your favorite French writer? I don't know if I have a favorite French writer. I don't know very many French writers. Hello, Dora. I have to head off. All right, Damien, have a great day. The plot twist from MASH upset me, I'm not gonna lie. There you go. Alexandra Knight, favorite French writer. Thank you, Alexandra. I feel like my plot twists are why it's so difficult to write my story. I can't keep up. Think I'm going to have to scrap a few. Maybe. It's the author who wrote The Empire of the Vampire. I haven't read that one. So how do you write a good plot twist? It's mostly in the foreshadowing. Plot twist should feel like, first off, they should help make the story better. Like, you don't want to have where their best friend was the villain all along be the plot twist if it doesn't actually make the story better that it was them. That's the first thing. A really good plot twist, in my experience, your writing experience may be different, but in my experience, knowing what the plot twist is going to be helps make the writing better because you can add in foreshadowing. That said, if you're not that much of a planner and it just happens to come out that the best friend is the villain all along, you can go back and add in your foreshadowing. But it definitely needs to have the foreshadowing. The clues need to be there. So you can't you can't just throw in a plot twist near the end of the book and be like, surprise, haha, your best friend was in on it the whole time, but not have any clues or any you know, when you look back and like the scenes are different because you realize that what he was saying was, you know, when he said don't trust anybody, right? And it's the best friend giving that, and you realize that he was even talking about himself, like things like that. Like, it gives the reader a way of going back over those scenes from a different perspective and filling in blanks and making it better. Not just, oh dang, we haven't even met the best friend yet at all, and like he came in and like this was a big plot twist. Quit my job as a bank accountant because I lost interest. My characters have their own thoughts and dreams on what they do. We have arguments when we don't agree. Thanks for the advice. You're very welcome. What if you want your readers to be really shocked? I'm worried foreshadowing will give it away or make them question the character. Oh, it needs the foreshadowing. The shock still comes. Foreshadowing doesn't give it away. Now, that said, if you're following a predictable trope, the predictable trope will give it away. But the foreshadowing, like, Missy, have you seen, I'm trying to think of some others. So there's The Sixth Sense did a really good job of it. What are some others that had a big reveal? Now I can't think of any. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Go back and watch Sixth Sense. Maybe my foreshadowing is too obvious. Well, but also remember, your reader doesn't know the story as well as you do. So before you start going and tearing it apart, saying, I got this one string of hair that's like hitting the light in a weird way, and it's like, there, maybe try that. Before you start ripping your whole story apart, you know your story inside and out. So almost every hint you leave is going to feel super obvious. Your readers are not going to have that same problem. They have not read your story 817 times. They have not sat there and picked apart every single element of your story yet. So before you start picking it apart and saying, this foreshadowing is too obvious, you're going to need some beta readers who haven't read your story yet to help you with that. And then if they tell you, yeah, then you can tweak, but I wouldn't rip them out yet. As a writer, we think it's too obvious. Correct. Assistant to the villain did a good job. I missed the clues and was surprised, and that's not like me. We know the character's true motives. A24 movies, perfect example for foreshadowing plot twist. Yes. Thank you. I know there's so many examples, and I just suck at trying to think of them off the top of my head. How do I make an unforgettable villain? So I think a lot of the most unforgettable villains are the ones that we can kind of relate to. Well, no, wait, hold on. There's a few. So first, if there's some kind of a redemption arc, even if it's starting to get redeemed, like back when I was a kid, we had Star Wars, right? We had the original trilogy. And Darth Vader was one of the ultimate villains of all time, like in that time. And he started to go down a redemption arc when he threw the Emperor down the thingy, right? Started and then died. Before he could fully redeem himself, he then died. The only person who got to see him start down that arc was Luke. He was an unforgettable villain. Now, he was also super powerful. No one knew how anyone was going to ever beat him. He felt unbeatable because he knew everything. He had the Force. Then you found out that he was a Jedi. Like, there were all these things. And so you couldn't fathom anyone being able to beat him at all. And then he started down this redemption arc. The only person who got to see it was Luke. No one else got to see it. And then he died. That made him unforgettable because we were all like, oh, we spent 2.5 movies going, how is anyone going to beat this guy? You know what I mean? And that third movie, it was less, how's anyone going to beat him? And more of, he's just kind of being controlled by this other guy. You know what I mean? Like, you found out he was actually smaller than you thought he was. He wasn't the big bad that you thought he was. Anyway, then as you find out more about his backstory and whatnot, there's a lot more happening, but that made him unforgettable because he was, for all intents and purposes, unbeatable, but human, even though he wasn't human, but you know what I mean. Other ones are when you can relate, like Jigsaw. That may not be the best, but when you think about Jigsaw and you listen to and you start dissecting little bits and pieces and you listen to his reasoning and you go, okay, well, if I were that type of introvert, analytical planner, and my wife was pregnant and spent her entire life, basically, every minute of every day, trying to help people who were at their lowest, addicts, so, etc., and lost the baby because one of those people in a fit came running through and hurt her. Yeah, I might react the same way, right? You put them in a position you've never been in, and your audience has never been in, but you put them in a position that makes the audience question whether or not they would have gone down that way. Now, some of us, we like to sit in our moral high horse and we like to say, I would never. But the truth is until you're in those shoes, you don't know if you would. And even if you would never, you go, but I can understand why they would do that. And that relatability is what makes a lot of villains unforgettable. I think Loki is technically anti-hero, so don't know if he fits in the villain slot. Yeah, he was. I think Loki defined the anti-hero. I think prior to that, everyone else had just like attempted it. Maybe Rumpelstiltskin. But Loki pretty much defined the two of them. Rumpelstiltskin from Once Upon a Time and Loki. They defined anti-hero. They were neutral characters who were kind of sick of getting kicked around and beaten up, and in Loki's case, pretty much like ignored and whatnot. And like, you know, I can understand where Loki comes from because like my mother told me my father was dead for years. So when I found out the truth and that he wasn't, like, that was one of the catalysts behind me running away from home when I was a teenager. Like, I get that. I understand that whole lie that you're not who you thought you were all this time. That's a really hard pill to swallow. Now, would I have gone off and, stolen the Tesseract? I don't know. But I don't have the powers that he has, so who knows? Anyway, so when you think about that, about that time, like he was really dealing with, well, both of them were really dealing with a lot of trauma, and they were more selfish than anything. They weren't out to take over the world so much as they were out to grab what was theirs, what they truly felt was rightfully theirs. And then, but when it came down to it, they actually cared about other people more than they were willing to admit even to themselves. To me, that's a really good anti-hero. They were the antagonist, but they weren't quite a villain. They were just more, I'm in it for me now. Everyone else has let me down. Everyone else has screwed me over. Now I'm just in it for me. This is what I deserve. And then when they realize that they're hurting people, they flip a little bit. He was being totally gaslit by Palpatine. How do you make a well-developed personality of a character? You got to go into their brains. I mean, you need a little bit of their backstory and stuff like that. You got to figure out, like, how did they grow up? How were they raised? Because all of that helps you determine how they view the world. And then you can go from there. There's like a bunch of different personality tests you can run them through. You can run them through Myers-Briggs, which helps give a little bit of insight into their general personalities. You can go through the Enneagram, which helps figure out like more about their personality, but also how they handle stress, what they tend to do with stress. You can go through, what's that other one? Like the skill strengths test, stuff like that, which is a lot of like, when you want to know, like, they're really good at this, but not so much good at that. And you can find different ways of manifesting all of these personalities into the story. Every JoJo villains are pretty iconic. Hello! I didn't know my father wasn't dead. That's how villains get started. 16 personality test thing. How do I make a good slow burn villain romance? You know what? I have no idea. I'm not a slow burn romance person in general, so I don't really have any tips for you. I'm trying to think of a romance coach, like specifically romance coach. I don't know of any romance coaches. How many romance writers do we have in the Discord? Do we have a lot? That's how villains get started. Yeah, Seisha. I was 15 when I found out he wasn't dead. Yes, we do. Okay. Kanika, Micah, Jessa. All right. So yeah, that might be the thing to do is join the Discord. You can get there from whowantstowriteabook.com. Join the Discord, and then you can come to hang on Mondays. There's Unf Your Story that you can join if you're struggling with writing a slow burn. You can just join and ask questions about, hey, I'm trying to do this and I can't figure out how to slow it down or whatever. How do I burn it slowly? And they'll help you. 16 after. All right. Favorite trope. I love the fake date trope. I don't know why. It's dumb. Love it. I think that's like, I'm not sure what other tropes are my favorite. There's a bunch that I like, but fake date is probably my favorite. Pride of the Peacock by Victoria Holt was a good romance with a villain, and it's kind of slow burn, but it's no smut book. Friends to Lovers. Will not write my slow burns in a cave, thank you. You like Enemies to Lovers? See, I'm not a fan of Enemies to Lovers. Hello, Sasha. All right, y'all, I've got to go. There needs to be a big lie between them that keeps them apart. If they tell each other, they would be together. Caves are fun. All right, y'all, I have to run. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning. I hope you have an amazing day. Go get all the words written, and I will see you tomorrow morning, okay? Bye.